Joe Biden's performance is definitely going to be something we're watching in tonight's debate. As we mentioned, he and 5 other candidates are going to face off in Des Moines. It's the smallest group of candidates to appear in any debate so far. Lynda Tran is there. She's a CBSN political contributor and Democratic strategist. Lynda, there are basically 4 frontrunners right now: Biden, Warren, Sanders, and Buttigieg. But who really needs to have a standout night?
Well, what's interesting is the dynamic across those 4 is that they've been kind of swapping back and forth the lead. But of those that you just named, the one that I think really needs to have a standout night is Mayor Pete Buttigieg. As we know, he had the lead at one point in recent weeks, and we often talk about when is the moment to peak. Well, now is it? We're 20 days out from the Iowa caucus. You know, I was at a rally with Mayor Pete's campaign last night in Ames, Iowa, and he was musing about how just 11 months ago, as of last night, there were just 4 people in a room, and last night there was a sizable crowd there. The question is, he's been able to raise money, he's been able to build on the support and name recognition since then. Can he push it over the top in a way that enables him to truly shift the narrative and truly cement his status as one of the front runners coming out of Iowa in just a few weeks?
There's been a lot of talk about the current dynamic between Sanders and Warren. What clashes can we expect to see on stage tonight?
Well, as you know, Nikki, the world is abuzz about what did he or didn't he say during that closed-door meeting that included Senator Warren and Senator Sanders, and in particular, this notion of whether or not a woman could be elected president. I think that the statement that the Warren campaign put out several hours ago was really an attempt to put this to rest. I think that what we've seen from her on the campaign trail to date has been pretty indicative of where she would like to focus the conversation. And that is on the issues, that is on the various big plans and ideas that she has for the country. And so while there's no doubt that this will come up tonight, I would not be surprised if between the 2 of them who have this longstanding relationship, they try to put it aside and redirect to the focus of the discussion.
Lynda, are Democrats worried that an intra-party attacks could weaken their position ahead of the general election?
Well, this is the big question of the hour, right? I mean, in electoral speak or strategy, we often think about the primary election being a time to test out the ultimate front runner, to test out the ultimate nominee, and to see what kinds of attacks may stick. But we're living in the Trump era. We're living in an era where the smallest statement can become digital fodder that gains momentum in a really terrible way. I mean, there was a lot of talk a couple of months ago about the AK-47s. We're going to take away your AK-47s comment that Beto O'Rourke made from the debate stage. And so definitely when we start to see these issues arise, we start to see these clashes between the candidates, which we should all expect now that we're into 2020. The concern is, do they become fodder for ads? Do they become fodder for attack in the general election against Donald Trump?
So, Lynda, what are the key issues that need to be discussed on stage tonight to help Democrats?
Well, Nikki, we've been talking about them for days on end now, and I would put at the top of that list probably national security. In various ways, that issue has been front and center when it comes to the impeachment proceedings over the last several weeks, and certainly with the crisis that has been unfolding in Iran. This is a place where people like Pete Buttigieg are able to highlight their experience. It's a place where Joe Biden has been able to wade in and talk about his longstanding experience as a statesman. And it really speaks to some of the concerns and the issues that we're seeing independent voters worried about in the wake of having had Donald Trump as president for the last several years. So national security is definitely a place for Democrats to focus. And of course, it always rises to the top. But healthcare and the economy are things that are everyday concerns, whether you're paying attention to what's happening in Iran or not.
Lynda, I'm sure we'll be speaking with you all day and night. Thank you.